Stars of the show. Selling Wilson from Rap Radar. I get down for my crowd.
Fans are rocking it like it's a concert.
My fans are amazing.
Ready?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the undisputed queen of hip hop, Nicki Minaj. Okay, so you and your bestie get to Atlanta. We in Atlanta
He
now.
said, you and your bestie get to Atlanta. No, what I'm saying is, I was madly in love with the
Let her get it out. She's here. It's all good.
the thought of I'm saying we moving to Atlanta, and that person is saying, let's go, let's
No
go.
pushback, no pushback.
No pushback,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, I remember I was in my room, I was packing up my room. My mother didn't even think I was serious. I was like, no, I'm really moving. And she did.
Had you ever been to Atlanta? Either, no, right? Was this
I
something-
went there, and then I spent like a week, and then I came back and just packed all my stuff and moved.
I'm going back.
I'm
Yeah,
going
yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And because I knew that there was something in Atlanta that I felt, this is my time, or this, I'm going to make it.
The energy was
something,
there also,
yeah.
right, in the culture.
And I felt with Deb, the way she made me feel, she really, it was like she was my mother and my manager. She made me feel like I got you. And I had never had anyone really, especially not a woman, treat me like that. So I felt so safe with her.
Yeah.
So Safari and I, we drove. We packed all our clothes in our cars, and we drove to Atlanta. For a very long time, I didn't even have furniture in Atlanta. Like, we were just good with knowing that we had an apartment and
Lights on, everything.
yeah, clean carpet. You know, in Atlanta, the places be looking cute. Even, you know what I'm saying? It ain't like New York.
Yeah.
New York, you gotta pay so much to get so little.
Yeah.
And in Atlanta, honey child, you could really go out there and, like, you know, y'all, if you save up your money, y'all, for real, don't spend all your money out here. Like, it ain't even worth it. Like, get your shit right, go to one of those kind of places, stack your money, and you know what I mean? And come and do your career, and then you move back to New York, because it's stupid.
But how did you immerse yourself in the rap scene and then catch Wayne's attention?
No. I already caught Wayne's attention before I moved to Atlanta.
Okay, so
yeah.
you're already in place.
But things were going slow.
Yeah.
Like, it was like Wayne was saying he signed me, but he hadn't signed me. So when I met Deb, she was like, are you signed? I was like, no. You know, and she was like, oh, well, we need to get you signed. And you know what? Right before I signed with this other label, I had a talk with Irv Gotti. And
why are you laughing? Shout out to Irv, Queens, baby.
And I was asking everybody their opinion, but Irv was one of the last people whose opinion. I remember that Wayne called me, and he had never spoke to me like this before. He was like, I heard that you thinking about not signing a Young Money. Like, you serious? Like, you need to get your mind right. And I was in the beauty parlor, and he was at a basketball game on TV, barking on me. And I just remember I hung up the phone, and first of all, I was so excited that he had called me. So I was like, oh, yeah, Wayne called me. But he just kind of cussed me out. So wait, I got to figure something out here. So I asked Irv, because Deb was like, I don't think you should sign with Young Money because Wayne is an artist. He's not going to focus on, you know. And I was like, all right, yeah, you're right. But Irv was one of the last people. He was like, fuck all that shit. Like, you going to be the hottest chick with the hottest clique. You crazy? And he was like, come on, Nick, you bugging. Do what you got to do. Like, don't even think about no money, because I would have got more money doing some other shit.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers, right?
But
maybe. No disrespect.
I think, yeah. And they were sweet, you know what I'm saying? And I think they had my best interests at heart, too. But I was like, fuck the money. Like, I need to be with Wayne based off loyalty, because he's the first person, mainstream person, that shouted me out and gave me my props. And that's what it all came down to. At the end of the day, when I thought about it and I slept on it, I was like, no. Because at first we was going to just have Wayne executive produce the album. And he was cool with that.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, he wasn't cool with it.
Yeah.
And one time I was living in Atlanta and I was eating a turkey burger. And Safari had made me this really good turkey burger. And Wayne called me and said, "You not in Young Money no more."
Wait, when was this?
And I was so hungry, but I took one bite of the turkey burger and I couldn't eat for the rest of the night.
Why'd he say that?
I think because I had left the tour or something. Let me tell you, what it was when I met them, I had, like I said, I was already booking shows.
Mm-hmm. On your own?
On my own. And I had a fan base, a loyal following.
Because of the mixtapes and everything, yeah.
Yes.
I get crazy, itty bitty.
Right. And so sometimes, like, if I know Wayne would never remember this, but sometimes, like he took me off of Bedrock for this. Like, I couldn't stay because I had to do a show. And if he wanted you there, you better stay there.
Yeah.
Or
when
like,
they put in a compilation album.
Yeah, they were doing the album, and I wanted to get on Bedrock. I knew Bedrock was gonna be a humongous hit.
Yep.
And he took me off when I left because I had to leave to go do a show, and I was fucking devastated because I was like, I know that song gonna be all over the radio. They had just did I Wish I Could Fuck Every Girl in the World, and I wasn't on that.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be another big Young Money song that I'm not gonna be on.
They got the queen on there.
And I was really hurt. So, but that's kind of like what it would be like if I had to leave to go and do a show and I couldn't do what he told me to.
Yeah.
He would be like, nah, you ain't in Young Money.
So how did you get past that? How did you get? He
I
called you
just
back
sent
to-
him a really heartfelt email.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, Wayne, like you don't understand how much I've sacrificed and how much I love you and how appreciative I am. I said a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I was just like, please give me another chance. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
And when he kicked me out of Young Money, he had Mac do it. And I knew by the way Mac sounded that it was bad. As soon as he got on the phone, I could just feel a vibe. And I knew that Wayne was sitting right there in the back, probably. And Mac told me
You won't tell her this, dude.
Right.
Like that, yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm kicked out of Young Money? What does this mean for my life now? Like, what am I gonna do?
And then the other crazy part of it is that people forget that Wayne was in jail when you was putting your album together when it came out. Like, talk about how you had to carry the weight of all those situations.
That was devastating. Yeah, I forgot Wayne wasn't out at that time. I was very just nervous. I told them, no, it's not my time. It's not my time. It's not my time. I know it's weird because artists usually fight to get their album out.
My release date.
I used to fight to not have my album out. And Baby and Slim one day really put their foot down. And they was like, you got to come out, Bobby. It's your time.
Is that Barbie?
Bobby, it's your time. It's your time, Bobby. I was like, no one wants me. No one's going to get it. And then, 375,000 in the first week, right? And I was just like, oh, maybe people do want it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. That was how that started. I did miss having Wayne on the album, but I knew that it wouldn't change anything because I knew when he came home, we would still work together and there would be other albums for him to get on. So that didn't really bother me.
What was it like putting that album together? Once you got to the process?
One thing I remember about Pink Friday is that I didn't care about charts. I didn't care about anything. When we did Super Bass, I didn't even know what the fuck Top 40 was. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, because of social media, fans can't even enjoy music anymore because they're so busy seeing what's it charting.
Mm-hmm.
When we were back in the days, like if you liked the song, you just liked the song. And I said this in another thing that I'm doing. I didn't know that Foxy Brown's Broken Silence wasn't a big mainstream success. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I just
That record connected to you. Yeah.
it just connected to me, and I played that shit till that shit scratched, and I had to get another one. You understand?
Yeah.
It didn't matter, but now it matters to the kids. Like, what number is your song on the chart?
Yeah.
And psychologically, it does make them like it more or less.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes them put it in their head, this is a good song because it's getting played every day on the radio. Right. It's sickening. Where were we at? I'm sorry.
No, Pink Friday. We're talking about Pink Friday.
Oh, so the beauty of
You felt free.
I
You
felt
didn't worry
free.
about that.
But the beauty of Pink Friday is I didn't know that much about the business to care. And I was just writing stuff like, Dear Old Nicki. I would never write a song like that anymore. Like, it was, to me, when I listen to it now, it's so cheesy. I'm like, oh my God, why did I put this on my album? I know, shut up.
And you hate Your Love too, right?
I hated Your Love. You know, I kind of hate I'm the Best, the intro.
No. See, now you're going too far. You do love Roman with Eminem. I mean, a lot of times people too also like, to me, like everybody talks about Monster, and I felt like that was the first time even me, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Nicki Minaj is, she's ill on the mic. But I know you're also equally proud, even more proud of having a song with Eminem and that lyrical display. Like, can we talk about those two records and what they meant to your career? First Monster and then the collaboration with Eminem?
Well, what came first, Monster or Roman's Revenge?
Monster.
Okay.
They're excited. Was you in Hawaii when that was going down?
Yeah. I recorded it and wrote it in Hawaii. But, shut up. I wasn't even saying it like that. But what I remember most about Monster is that Kanye really pushed me to be better. That, you know, I wrote a verse to it, and he was like, I think you could do better.
He's like, murder me on this. Murder me.
No, but he just was like, I think you could do better, and I think you should really think about what you want to say. And I said, wow, I never thought about it like that. And I just wrote down a whole bunch of stuff, and then I created the rap from there. So that's what made me fall in love with Kanye, because he didn't have to do that. You know, he didn't have to push me to be my best, but he did.
Yeah.
And
so you didn't even know Jay was going to be on it, I guess, right? Yeah.
And Kanye held on to it for a long time, and he wasn't going to put it on his album. And one day he called me, and he was just talking, saying a whole bunch of stuff, and then in the middle of it, he just threw that in there and said, because you know Jay on that now. And I said, what? I was like, Z? You mean...
No disrespect to LL Cool J, but...
Right. You mean... Z? So, and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about if I'm going to use it on an album. And I was like, you got to. But, you know...
You're like, I really think you should.
I really think you should, babe. But yeah, so that was a beautiful moment. I mean, of course, you can understand how a little girl from New York City feels when she finds out that the king of New York is on a track with her. Like, come on. I was, oh my God, like, I couldn't sleep. Like, wait a minute.
So how'd you hear it? They sent the mix to you when it was done?
I don't even think I approved the mix at that time.
Yeah,
I don't even think I was at that point
Oh.
where I could approve
Right?
Jay and Kanye.
You don't even know what that's like anymore, right? You don't even know what that's like anymore, right?
Right, that's so far-fetched now. But I know they was like, if I would have said I wanted to approve a mix, they probably be like, who? Approve of what? But, you know, I was really talking that shit on there. Like, everything was dead at. I was really getting $50,000. 50, no album out. 50 came for a verse, no album out. Climate. Tony Mataran, dirty whining. Nicki, you on the titties when I sign it. That's why these niggas say one track minded. But I'll say, Bride and Chucky is child's play. Just killed another career, it's tomorrow day. Besides day, they can't, besides me. I think me, you and Shemanage, pink with thick ass. Give them, I think big, get cash. Now, look at what you just, this is what you, I'm a motherfucking monster.
I think that back then, like even like me, like to be keeping 100, like I was like, you obviously had skill and was a vicious rapper, but like the characters kind of drew me off at first before I understood it.
Threw a lot of people off.
So a lot of times, like you would hear your features, and I would be like, okay, she sounds good, but why is she like so many? It was almost too experimental, and I felt like with Monster was the first time, like, oh, I get it. Like it's like this is incredible because he's almost like you said with the new song, he's like my fourth.
No, and I'm just gonna keep it all the way real.
Let's go in. What we doing?
I felt like Monster, a lot of people like you only accepted it because Kanye and Jay was on it. Because if I was on it by myself, y'all wouldn't have given me my props at that time either.
I know. But here's what it was.
No, because it's so much like dick riding in hip hop. It's like, yo, it's like y'all like who y'all like, and if somebody's on a song with them, or if they give that person props, then it's like, oh, they cool now. I've been ill. Like, I've been that bitch.
No, but here's the thing.
I've been bodying niggas and bitches. I didn't get ill on Monster. I was ill before Monster. And people that are geniuses and icons like Kanye recognized my genius.
But we recognized it in that context with you up against two of the greats. No, listen. No,
because if they wasn't on that song, y'all would still not have accepted it.
But Nick, of course, but you was clearly the best. No, but listen, it's because you were clearly the best on that song. Clearly. So that's why everybody's like, oh shit, like you out-rhymed two of the greatest on one track. So that made everybody have to bow down and accept it.
But you just said that you didn't get the voices and stuff. So why I did the voices on that song?
It connected for the first time to me. Because you
listened. Because you listened.
You made us listen.
Because you listened, because people you respected were on the track. And that's fine. I understand. I
agree.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing. Is like a lot of people judged me. I got a call from Mr. C one time, and after he heard Bottoms Up. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, you know what? I gotta actually give you your props. And Bottoms Up was very animated. Thank you. They so cute. Bottoms Up was very animated. But he took the time, I guess, to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes skill. And then I see people doing it now.
Oh.
I'm not trying to be shady, but sometimes when I hear certain like animated things Kendrick Lamar does, I think to myself, wow, niggas is on Kendrick dick, but when the kid talking about King of New York.
King of New York.
So, I respect and like him.
Of course.
But I'm just saying,
You opened that door.
When I paid attention to certain things that he did, I said,
But why do you think it was that your style wasn't more straightforward? Why was it important for you to like show such like diverse skill in terms of the way you approach tracks as an MC? Like, why was that so important to you? And even though we may not have gotten it at first, like it was going to be a tougher road to cross, that people start to understand it. Like, why was that your approach?
You know, I don't really have an answer for that. I don't know why that was my approach. I've always been animated. I've always loved acting. I've always been playful. And I think at one point I felt like rap got too easy for me. And I wanted to up the ante. I wanted to do flows that everybody can't do. I wanted to do voices and do things that made it interesting, that everybody can't just do it. But, you know, it was shunned a lot. by hip hop heads because for whatever reason, but I hear it, you know, like when I listen to Young Thug and Race Murder, the kids,
Yep.
I hear the animation.
Yeah.
But nobody says anything.
It's cool now.
It's cool now.
You helped break the door down. You break that door down. Yeah. And you deserve your props for that. You broke that door down.
It's cool now.
Yes.
Now. And by the way, I'm not saying that they were at all influenced by me at all. I'm saying they could have been. I'm saying maybe they weren't. But the point is, they're
But you
doing
may have
it and
opened it up
getting
to it.
love for it. You know, and I happen to be big fans of both of them.
No, you're
I
on
love
records with them. You jumped on
Yeah,
records
I
with them.
fucks with them for real.
Yeah.
And because they inspire me, and it's so few new artists that inspire.
I was gonna ask you that, like, who do you like it of? Because now it's like, you know, there's a whole now new generation since you've risen. Like, who do you connect with? Who do you respect?
Those two, because
Young Thug and
because they're animated. You know what it is? Because they're animated, but if you listen close, they be spitting some shit.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with animated shit that's whack shit. Like if it's just like ABC. No.
yeah.
If you
Gibberish.
listen close, a lot of times they be saying some shit, but they so animated and so all over the, you know what I'm saying? People won't really take time to listen. So a lot of things that you know from them is their melody, but I listen for bars. So I listen differently
Still,
to, you know, than the average person. And I'm not stupid. I know that the average person don't give a fuck about bars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a big part of the reason why we loved Jay and Biggie. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, we want to be inspired. We want to say, oh, you're kind of smart. What I loved about Jay was that he made me think, oh, he's smart.
Yeah.
And that was inspiring. I'm not inspired by a bunch of people who are stupid. Like, just for lack of a better word, it's okay to have fun. Like, so, like I'm like big on grammar a lot. Like when I speak and I'm like, oh no, this is not grammatic.
Enunciation and also too.
But when I rap, I don't care about that all the time. Depends on the song. So if somebody might hear one particular song that I do and they might think, oh, she's stupid. You know, she's saying brung. You know, the word
VIP,
brung.
you said VIPs instead of VIP. And one of
Yeah,
the
but they
VIPs.
know that's slang. But I'm just saying when I say stuff that's like not in the dictionary, right? Like,
Gotcha.
and people might think that I really think that's a word. Like, is these bitches? I don't say is these. I say are these bitches. But on my raps is these bitches trying me?
More catchy.
They think it's sweet. Oh, these bitches got diabetes.
Speaking of bad bees and again, we haven't talked about Beyonce. Like with the first you give us Flawless remix. It's like Time Magazine #1 record, and then you follow it up with the sequel, your record. Like I heard you talk about that Flawless a lot, but like let's talk about this record, your record. Like this is your song. Like talk about how Feeling Myself comes together and how because you guys are 2 for 2 now. Like how does that record come about? Was that different from the feeling of putting Flawless together?
It felt the same because just like with Flawless, we did a lot of back and forth, like getting it to
Intricate arrangements. That's what I would think.
yeah,
about
getting
it too, right?
arrangements, and Beyonce will always tell me what she loves about something I did, or sometimes she'll shorten things, or take things out, and with Feeling Myself, there was one part that I had to be on the phone and say, please don't take that out, because she sounded so cute saying this particular part that she was going to take out. And I was like, you sound so sexy, Beyonce. Don't take that part out, please. And
Which part?
I'm whipping that work. Was it I'm whipping that work? No, not that. He whipping that work. I got it.
Oh, that part.
That part just sounded so sexy to me, like her voice.
Yeah.
And I begged her to keep it in. And she's like, oh, I'm just keeping it in because you said it was your favorite part. And it made me just fall in love with her. Like, because she, even at her level, is willing to compromise and willing to, you know, like,
Collaborate, right?
yeah, and it always feels like a real collaboration with Beyonce because she really cares. She is the only person that I ever met that cared as much as I did. Ever. And so every time I have the pleasure of working with her, I always sit back and reflect. And I told her this last time, because she was like, I know you thinking, this beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, because she's picky, but I am picky too.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I don't be thinking that. I be thinking, I know exactly how you feel, and I just respect it. You know, because people, if a woman is picky, people only see it as bitchy.
Or difficult or
Right.
this type of thing. Yeah.
But no, I see it as genius. I see it as grace and power, and those are the things that she represents to me. So when she's saying, no, I don't love this, or I don't love this, and I don't love, you know, I'm like, perfect. And she always makes it better. Every time she changes something, I'm like, oh, God. But she always makes it better. Yeah. She's a pro.
Also, speaking of the level of collaboration, I mean, that's the thing that's intricate about you, besides your songs, which are great. Your whole, like, a lot of things that were able to be, like, your breakthrough was, like, features, being on other people's records. Like, what do you think also, besides your gifted skill, like, what else, what is it about you that makes you such a strong collaborator with other artists?
I always want to impress the artist, that whoever song I'm on, even if it's a smaller artist than me, I want to make them feel like, oh my God, Nicki, look at what Nicki did on my track. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, I just want to make them feel good or something, I guess. And so it's not about me showing off my skill. It's more about me telling them, thank you for thinking about me to be on your record. This is my gift to you, because I know when they play it, I want them to be like, oh my God, she just bodied my song, yes. Like, I want them to feel like that, you know, because that's how, when I was working on mixtapes and stuff, like, that's how I would feel when Wayne would do something for me. Like, when I got back Go Hard.
Big record. On the mixtape.
If
Weezy.
you could, you would get rid of me. Fuck you gonna do when a bitch try to go, but I won't let you get to me. If you was as real as me, you would never let another bitch sit in your throne.
Speaking of another great one, let's go back to Eminem. We didn't get to talk about that, how the Roman Rec came together.
And with M, my manager G got that done. I think that he had a good relationship with M's side, and there was a track that Safari kept on telling me to, you do that one, and I was like, I'll do it at the end. So at the end of Pink Friday, I recorded Roman's Revenge, and I sent it to Eminem, and he did a verse, killed it, and then I'm like, well, I can't leave it like that now, because he can't run up on the kid. You know what I'm saying? So I did another verse, and then I sent it to him, and then he did another verse.
Start battling?
And I'm like, no, but it was like, I couldn't freaking believe I was on the phone with Eminem talking about my debut album. And he was very protective of his vocals and his files, and he mixed the record. He took it and mixed it, and he added stuff to the beat. So it's really produced by Swiss and M, which is dope. Yeah, so freaking dope, because Swiss did it. By the way, Swiss made that beat in front of my face. One day I went to the studio, and he was like, nah, I gotta get turned up, because I'm like, oh my God, like, this man ain't making no goddamn beats. I need to go home. I'm sleepy. So he's like, nah, I gotta get turned up. And I'm just like, I was so aggravated. And then he just sat there and started going, dun 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 dun. And I was like, that shit sounded crazy. And I got it. Blasted it. I am not Jasmine, I am Aladdin. So far ahead these. All right, y'all.
But do you feel like, but take it to fast forward. So you going toe to toe with the greats. Obviously, you've carved your own lane in terms of, like, you know, I know you're such a student of the game, and like you said, you love Foxy and the females that came before you. Do you feel at this point like, wow, like I'm the one, like I was able to, like, is that humbling to you? Do you ever feel like looking at the situation like, I've achieved these things where it's like, I can feel like I'm the greatest at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I am the greatest. No, well, I am the greatest female rapper right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am. But it is humbling because the people made me that. Because no matter how skilled you are, the people ordain you. The people make you that. And the people can unmake you that.
Take it back.
You understand? So it's very humbling. I'm very grateful, and that's why I go extra hard, because I don't feel like, I don't want people to ever think, oh, she's slacking. Oh, she thinks she there now, so she could do. No. I always want to show people that I appreciate so much what you guys have done for me, that I want to always impress you. I love the fact that still now when I rap, people are like, oh, Nicki went in. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And there'll never be a day where that stops happening.
So it's like the pink, before we go, it's like the pink print, like kind of your stamp on things, your stamp on the game. And like, what do you feel like that when it's all said and done, your mark's going to be on hip hop?
Yeah, it just means that I know now they'll never forget me. I know now in my heart that they'll never be able to dispute my skill. And the thing about after the second album happened, there was a lot of talk. And one thing I wanted to stop was the talk. Like, you'll never, ever have a discussion ever again about, is Nicki Minaj a skilled MC? And that's all I wanted, because that's all I fought for. Like, I really did this, and it's not about, girls want to look cute and blah, 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 but I really just want to be respected. I've been respected by my peers, by the biggest rappers in the game, and I want to let the hip-hop culture know that, like, I really take this serious. This is not manufactured by a record label. This is a human being that started from nothing, who you guys saw me on the internet struggling and doing my thing. And now I am here.
And it's going to keep going.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Nicki. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're the undisputed queen of rap, and I'm honored you shared the stage with me tonight.
Thank you so much. Thank
the Pink
you guys
Print.
so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the stars of the show. Selling Wilson from rap radar. I get down from my crib. Selling Wilson from rap radar. I get down from my crib.